If you really want to make your Google Ad Grant ads work harder for you, well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to unlock a step-by-step playbook for creating some seriously powerful assets that will absolutely supercharge your Performance Max campaigns. Let's get right into it.
This right here is the single most important rule you need to know for Performance Max. Look, Google's AI is incredibly smart, but it's not a magician. It can't create something amazing from nothing. It absolutely needs high-quality raw materials, your headlines, your images, your descriptions, to work its magic. Think of it this way. The AI is like a supercomputer that runs on the code you write. Garbage in, garbage out. It's as simple as that.
So here's our game plan. We've broken this playbook down into 5 simple parts. First, we'll talk about why these assets are so crucial. Then, we'll dive right into the practical stuff, how to craft text that actually gets clicks and visuals that really connect. After that, we'll walk through how to put the whole campaign together, and, this is a big one, how to avoid the most common mistakes people make. Let's begin.
Okay, let's start at the very foundation. Why do these assets matter so much? Well, it's a simple, unbreakable rule when you're dealing with AI-driven marketing. The quality of what you put in directly determines the quality of what you get out. There are just no shortcuts around it. Your main goal here is to build a diverse, high-quality library of assets. Think of it like giving the AI a giant box of Legos. The more varied and interesting the pieces you give it, the more incredible the things it can build. It's going to relentlessly mix, match, and test every single combination to find what truly clicks with your audience. Now, for the first real building block of your campaign, the words. This is the most fundamental part of your ad. It's where you have to grab attention and make your case, and you have to do it fast. First up, we've got short headlines. You only get 30 characters, and yeah, that includes spaces, to make your first impression. This is like your digital billboard. It has to be quick, punchy, and crystal clear. And here's a super important rule you can't forget. Google does not allow exclamation points here. So how in the world do you make every single one of those 30 characters count? The key is variety. Instead of writing 5 headlines that all sound kind of the same, you're going to create 5 distinct ones based on these proven formulas. This isn't just about feeding the AI. It's about appealing to different human motivations, from a practical value prop to an emotional gut punch to a sense of urgency. And here's what this looks like in the real world. An animal rescue can go with a direct, action-oriented headline. A food bank can lead with its core value, what it does. For youth services, an emotional appeal might be the most powerful hook. The point is, you're giving the system all these different flavors to work with. Next up, long headlines. Here you get 90 characters to tell a bit more of a story. But here is the absolute golden rule. This space must be used to add new information. Don't just rephrase your short headline. It's all about adding depth and context that you couldn't fit in before. What's really cool here is how these formulas combine different elements for a much bigger impact. You're not just stating a fact, you're building a tiny little narrative. You can frame a problem and immediately present your organization as the solution. Or you can use hard data to build credibility and then pivot to a clear call to action. Just look at how powerful these become. A food bank isn't just asking for money, it's framing the entire ask around the fact that 1 in 5 local kids are facing hunger. An animal rescue isn't just saying, help us, they're giving you social proof by saying, hey, we've already saved 2,500 animals. Specifics build trust. Finally, we get to the descriptions. The 60-character version is perfect for a quick, direct call to action. But with 90 characters, you can combine your value and your action into a more complete thought. And here's the key detail you've been waiting for. This is where you can finally use exclamation points. Go ahead and add some energy. All right, we have totally covered the words. Now let's talk about the visuals. You know, this is often the single biggest missed opportunity in an ad grant campaign. The right image can literally make or break your ad's performance. First, let's just get the technical stuff out of the way. You have to provide images in 3 different ratios to make sure your ad looks good everywhere it might show up. That's landscape, square, and portrait. Quality is absolutely non-negotiable. No blurry photos, no dark photos. Your goal should be to provide at least 2 or 3 great options for each and every ratio. So what actually makes a great image? Well, the #1 rule is to show real people. A genuine photo of your staff, your volunteers, or the people you actually serve will always create a stronger emotional connection than some generic stock photo of smiling models. Authenticity is what builds trust. Second, you've got to show your impact, not just your building. People don't connect with a photo of your front door. They connect with a photo of the meal actually being served.
the dog finding its new home, or the child having that aha learning moment. You have to show your mission in action.
And third, use authentic moments. A candid, unposed photo from one of your events or just a typical day in your program feels so much more real and is way more compelling than a perfectly staged shot where everyone is just staring at the camera. Look for those genuine interactions.
Now, if you're going to add text overlays to your images, please remember this critical rule. Less is more. Keep it under 20% of the total image area. We're talking a simple logo, maybe a tagline, or a quick call to action. If you use any more than that, you risk Google limiting your ad's reach, and honestly, users will just scroll right past it.
Okay, so you've crafted some amazing text and you've found some really powerful visuals. Now it's time to put it all together and assemble a winning campaign.
Everything comes together inside what Google calls an asset group. It's basically the container for all your headlines, descriptions, and images. And here's a pro tip. Don't overcomplicate this. Just start with a single, strong, comprehensive asset group that gives the AI the maximum number of options to test. As you add your assets, Google actually gives you a live asset strength score. Your target, always, is excellent. And you get there through quality, quantity, and diversity. The great thing is, the system actually helps you. If you're not at excellent, it'll tell you exactly what you need to do, like add more headlines, or hey, you need a portrait image.
We are almost there. To wrap this all up, let's run through a final checklist of the most common pitfalls so you can avoid them right from the very start.
Let's do a quick recap of the biggest mistakes to avoid. First, relying only on generic stock photos instead of those authentic images we talked about. Second, forgetting that most people will see your ad on a tiny mobile screen. Third, creating mixed messages where your text and your visuals just don't align. Fourth, settling for anything less than that excellent asset rating. And finally, the classic set it and forget it mistake. Your assets need to be refreshed and evolve over time.
And that really brings us to the most important takeaway of all. This isn't just some technical task on a marketing checklist. This is about storytelling. By feeding Google's AI with powerful, authentic assets, you are essentially programming it to be your organization's best storyteller. You're making sure that every single ad it creates tells the best possible version of your story.